So over to your right, you'll see in this picture, we've got two lines, L and M. And there is a line that goes through them. That is line T that I just covered up. So line T is called a transversal. It intersects two or more lines, and we're going to use this a lot with our parallel lines that we talked about. But right now, it's just any kinds of lines. So transversal, a line that intersects two or more lines. So that would be line T, intersects L and M. So we've got some definitions down here, or some examples with our definitions. So angles formed by the transversal, corresponding angles are something we're going to need to learn. All of these on the left over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all pairs that have certain relationships. So corresponding angles, angles on the same side of the transversal and in the same position. For example, here's angle 1 and angle 5. They are on the same side of the transversal. They're both above those lines. So that would be angle 1 and angle 5. Some other sets would be 4 and 8. Then 2 and 6. And lastly, 3 and 7 are the corresponding angles. Same side of the transversal in the same position. So the next one is alternate interior angles, and it kind of is just like what it sounds. So interior angles, that would be on this side. So here's interior through there. Interior angles and on alternating sides of the transversal. So we'd have like angle 4. And also on the inside, but on the other side of the transversal is angle 6. And then the other set, 3 and 5. So next we've got alternate exterior. So exterior is the part that's not interior. So it's going to be stuff out here. Instead of between the parallel lines, now we've got it on the outside. These are not parallel lines. Instead of between the two lines, then we have it on the outside. So alternate exterior. Here you have angle 1 and angle 7. And then my other set would be angle 2 and 8. Consecutive, or we call them same side interior. I think the same side interior makes more sense, so that's what I'm going to use a lot. So consecutive or same side interior angles are the interior angles. So we're talking about the part here, right? So interior angles that are on the same side of the transversal. So here you've got one set, angle 4 and angle 5. And then the other set, angle 3 and angle 6. So then same side exterior, it's the other part on the outside. And here we're looking at 1 and 8. They're on the exterior and they're on the same side of the transversal. So angle 1 and angle 8. The other set would be 2 and 7. All right, so now is where the fun begins, when we get to name the type of relationship. And if no relationship exists, then we write none. So angles 1 and 8. Those are going to be on alternating sides of the transversal, and they're on the exterior, because here the interior is going to be this part between the two lines. So these are going to be, make sure I use the right terminology here, alternate exterior. And we can abbreviate, which I will do as we go along here. So then 2 and 3, you see where 2 and 3 are. They are on the interior. They're on the same side. So that we're going to call these same side interior angles, and I'm just going to put INT for my abbreviation. 5 and 7, those are going to be corresponding because they're on the same position that's there. Let me show you this. So here's angle 5 is on the lower part below the transversal. Angle 7 also below the transversal. And you see that they are both on the left side of those lines that are there. So we call that corresponding. Then angles 2 and 7, you're going to see these a lot, alternating sides of the transversal. So they're alternate interior angles. 1 and 3 are going to be corresponding. And then 5 and 8 are going to be our same side, but they're on the exterior. Now we've got the example 4 down at the bottom. Glaring at my child in the other room. He's not looking. So example 4 at the bottom, I've got 5 and 13. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'm going to go through some of them, and then I'll give you the answers at the end because I will ask some questions along the way. But 5 and 13 are going to be corresponding. Make sure you ask questions if you don't understand why each of these are what they are. 7 and 14 are going to be alternate interior. Then we've got 3 and 6. So here I have 2 sets of lines, and then they're cut by 2 transversals. So you can look at them 2 different ways. These first 2, we had 5 and 13 talking about this line, that pair of lines, and this line B is your transversal. Now we're looking at 3 and 6. So we are looking at it a little differently. That, I'm going to change color. So 3 and 6, this is your transversal. And these are your 2 lines. And how do you know that? Because 3 and 6 have nothing to do with line D. So they're only dealing with line C and A and B, and you're looking for one line that crosses the other 2. So 3 and 6 are going to be our alternate exterior. Then 9 and 14, it's a different transversal again. So now we're going to look at, here's 9 and 14. So the lines that make up those angles are line D, line A, and line B. So it has nothing to do with line C at this point. Okay. So 9 and 14 are going to be, let's see, not alternating, but they are same side. Yeah, what do we call that? Yeah, they are. Okay. That's bizarre because I didn't usually do this particular one. So, I was saying it correctly. So this is the same side, or consecutive, and they're on the exterior of that group of lines. Okay, so you get to do the rest, and I'll fill these in so you can see, but you're going to answer some questions.